My name is David Smith. I'm extremely excited to be here with Miss Bonnie Mays. We've got a chance that we really want to take some time to talk about some of the myths associated with 100% flat fee brokerage firm. For those of y'all who don't know Miss Bonnie Mays, she's a true leader in our real estate world. She's been in business for a long time, very well respected in our community, and she is the broker owner / CEO of United Real Estate in Louisville, Kentucky, and in Lexington, Kentucky, and she's also a good friend of mine. So, Ms. Bonnie Mays, thank you for taking some time to be here.
Well, thank you, David, and it's always a pleasure to visit with you, and today especially talk about one of my favorite topics. So, thank you.
Yeah, so we hear all kinds of different things when it comes to a 100% flat fee shop, and really want to just set the record straight and get a good idea of what's the biggest difference. What do we see are some of the differences between a flat fee brokerage shop and a traditional real estate model?
Yeah, well, the flat fee model is how the broker pays the agent. And if you look back at the history of organized real estate, we started out in the 50s with the birth of the MLS, and then the 70s brought franchises, and then the 90s brought the internet. And prior to the internet, the consumer had no way of getting information about properties without either calling in or coming into a real estate office. So what the agent needed and expected from their broker was a whole lot more. It was a nice office. The broker paid for the advertising in the newspaper, which has pretty much gone away. So, but when the internet came, then the consumer had a whole new world. They saw the pictures, they got the price, they could drive by. So as a result of that, what the agent needed from the broker then was more guidance, support. Didn't need the big office because agents don't come in and sit in the office all day. So the face of the company then became the agent. And it's what we call, our industry became more agent-centric instead of broker-centric. And what that means is the consumer called the agent. They had a relationship with the agent. And so the company then didn't have to provide for the agent all the things that they did in the past. So the myth of the 100% model then is that when you have a new model and the company takes less money, something must go away to the consumer. That is true. The services of our 100% flat fee model doesn't eliminate or take away any of the services that we've always provided to the buyer and seller. So then when this whole shift came, and it was an agent kind of business, it's only fair that the agent take all the money. So if I were to try and spend enough money to equally market all of our listings, all of our sellers, and promote all of our agents, well, there's not enough money to do that. So we give the money to the agent, we support them, we've got their back, we have all kinds of tools for them to use, but then they have the money to invest in the marketing that brings the best results to them. So that's
So you bring up a great question when we talk about tools, because this is one of the things that we've always heard is, if on a 100% model versus a traditional real estate organization, there's a whole bunch of tools or a bunch of services that may or may not be there. Can you talk a little bit about what tools are provided, and more importantly, what's eliminated by working with an organization like yours?
Right. Again, part of the myth, because there's actually nothing that is eliminated. In our company, we have 2 other brokers besides me who do a lot of the training. We offer marketing classes weekly. We have mastermind groups. We have small accountability groups. We have a whole separate program for brand new licensees. And then we have team building, leverage groups for senior agents. So, from cradle to grave, we support and develop real estate agents. And then we give them the best return for what they invest. So when you talk about the flat fee compensation, for instance, David, if you're an agent in our company and you sell a home that sells for $200,000 and the commission to the company is $6,000, then the flat fee is $495, which goes to the company, and the balance, $5,505, goes to the agent. So that represents about 30% more income to the average agent doing the same amount of work when they move to this model. So
that's significant. So I think, one of the questions that kind of pops into my mind and that I hear, is there a particular type of agent who is, better for this, or does it make sense for everybody, or is there a specific agent that really fits best into this type of model?
actually, there are really, any agent can fit into our model. We are very technology based, but we have an in-house technology director, marketing director that works individually with agents to make sure they're up to speed and make sure they know how to navigate our technologies and some of our tools like mobile. But basically, David, there are three kinds of agents. There's the brand new licensee, who we have a great program for, and they need money quick because they've paid money to get their license. So one transaction in our company pays them back for everything they spent to get licensed. And the second transaction is something that gives them money to stay in the business, to pay for their marketing and do what they need to do. And then there's an agent who maybe is a senior producer. They've been in the business 20 years and they don't want to give it up. They want to slow down a little bit. And they might, do 10, 12, 15 transactions a year. So they need to make sure for every transaction they close, they get the most money that they possibly can. And then the third type of agent is just that ultra productive agent who's closing 50, 60 deals a year, and they're building a team and they're spending lots of money. So they need the 100% income. So really our model fits any agent, and we have a system to promote all of those agents.
So it's interesting because, you bring up a lot of great points, right? So there's, the evolution of the real estate agent from start to finish and where they're at in their career. And obviously it sounds like there's a pretty robust technology plan that's there. There's things there to educate regardless of where you're at. I guess the other big one that's out there that we hear quite a bit is, the office life. Is there an office? Do we have a chance to go and communicate in person? Does that still exist with the 100% flat fee model, or is that more what the other brokerages are about?
Yeah, no, we do have an office, and I think it's the best balance between having no bricks and mortar and all virtual versus having a huge office that could be a bowling alley. So our office supports our culture. It's very collaborative. It's very supportive. Agents come and go. We encourage agents to not come and camp out, but we have a cafe in our office with high top tables. We have one big gathering table that seats 8. So we like for agents to come in and share their challenges and celebrate their successes and talk to each other. Again, not all day, but when they're in there, our office is set up for them to do that. And then our technology is all mobile. We have our marketing platform, which is they have a CRM, they have a website, they have all these marketing tools. They have a complete United University of videos and webinars that they can watch 24/7. And they do pay a small monthly fee in our company at $65 or $75, depending on the region you're in. And for that, they get some of our technology, and then they get lots of support. So in our cafe, our agent services director sits right there. So if they walk in and they have trouble getting their website or getting their social media attached to their website, whatever, she's there to help them, and it worked very well. So it's just
I think that's one of the things. Yeah, that's definitely one of the things that I would, get nervous about or be worried about is if I'm mobile and I have challenges with some technology or I don't know what's going on. It sounds like you have a solution for that, and that there are people I can talk to. There's, can you just tell me a little bit about that?
Sure. So on our marketing platform, everybody has their own login. Everybody has their own data that nobody sees but them. So it's really critical that they get hooked up. So
Right.
their password and their username is assigned to them. But we have an onboarding orientation with our agent services director to make sure that they're all hooked in, and she walks through that with them. And then at any time, if they get stuck, either they can call her and she can log on and do it with them remotely, or they can come in and make an appointment with her. And then we also have a virtual assistant who works outside of the office that an agent can hire themselves and just pay somebody, do this for me. I don't want to upload a listing. I don't want to put these names in my CRM. I don't want to set up my website. So here, you do it. And then they have that support if they choose to go that way. Some people don't like to do the technology stuff, and really their job is to be face to face with buyers and sellers. So my job then is to provide the tools and the support. So if they don't want to do it, somebody can do it for them. And again, when they're making 100% of the commission, they can afford to pay a little bit to have that done. So it's option.
And a tax benefit. It's a write-off, right? Yeah. So instead of the company getting to write it off, it's now I get to write that off. So I guess, the big buzzword that we hear out there, you guys are a discount house. Discount house is, I think, the term that gets thrown out there the most. What is flat fee versus discount house? What's the difference?
Yeah, another part of the myth, David, and thank you for asking that question, because that was a lot of misinformation in the beginning. And basically, discount house is a company that offers a discount brokerage fee to the consumer. So again, our model doesn't change anything with how we service the consumer.
And we talked about the evolution on where real estate was, where it is now. Crystal ball time. Yeah. What do you think is going to happen in the future as the world continues to change? The real estate world has changed countless times, as you mentioned a little bit earlier. Where do we see the 100% model and how it's going to impact the real estate future?
Well, actually, and this is my opinion, but I've also heard some national real estate trainers say this is the only sustainable model for the future. So
that's what I'm hearing too.
Because it is so much about the agent. The agent is the face of the company. The agent does their own marketing. 70% of all transactions of all realtors come from people they know already. So if that is the case, how can the broker justify taking 20, 25, 30, 35%? There's just, it's fourth grade math. It doesn't add up. So I think the future is just that. We will always see a flat fee, and I don't know, that might change. The infrastructure could change, but I think the model is going to remain for a long time.
Interesting. So final question for you.
Yeah.
We hear the word myth.
Yeah.
You've talked about myths. If you were to sum it up and just tell us, what's the big myth? What is it out there that we really want folks to understand on this model versus the traditional model? What is that myth?
Yeah. Well, the myth is that some service has been eliminated, but the flat fee model has created a fundamental shift in how the agent gets paid. So the agent is their CEO. They spend their marketing dollars the way they see fit. They buy their own for sale signs. Their for sale signs have only their name and their phone number. We don't want calls coming into the office on their listings. The seller hired them. So we want them to get those calls and to be able to service the seller. So again, it's the fundamental shift in how the agent is paid. It's the relationship between the broker and the agent. And so the other part of the myth that is misinformation is that the seller gets less from us or our buyers gets less for us. And that is not true. We have a full service menu for both our buyers and our sellers, and our model just really allows me to give to them based on my mission, David. And my mission is to change the financial trajectory of my agent's career, to give them more opportunities for more income and give them some financial peace of mind for their future.
Well, I think it's very interesting. I definitely appreciate you taking some time today to explain to us, kind of what we can expect and what it looks like and what that difference is. And to be honest, the agent centric, the way that I kind of believe that real estate is going as well. This is something that's very intriguing. So I appreciate sincerely your time, Ms. Bonnie Mays. I definitely appreciate it. I thank you again and look forward to speaking with you in the future.
Thank you, David. My pleasure.
Thank you.